Hey, this is JC and welcome to Small Brick City, where we want to help you build a Lego city regardless of the space you have. In this video, we're going to have a look at the Bricklink AFOL set. In particular, this is the bikes set. I ordered one set from the series because I felt I wanted to support the project, and this was the one that I felt would best fit my Lego city. So it came to me about 2 weeks ago, but I haven't had time to bring it over. I sent it to Singapore and shipping was only $10 US, so very reasonable in my opinion. So let's open this up and have a look inside. And here we have the packaging. Very nice, very different. I'm sure you've seen some of these already, but this is set 1528, so quite a few of these were made, and this is designed by MDT Makel from the Netherlands. So thank you very much for designing this set, and I'm glad this got voted in or got enough bids to be produced. So packaging is very different from a traditional Lego set, but I think it's good because it makes this really stand out. I'll probably keep the box, although I don't typically keep boxes. So let's see how we open this up. So we've got some flaps over here. Let's just open that. And let's see. So that is more like a dust cover or a jacket. And I'm sure that is a scene probably from the Netherlands itself. Let's get that in view. And you can see my cathedral MOC is also pictured here. So that's really nice of them. And over here, we've got this gold seal, which I'm going to just cut open as well. And let's have a look inside. Here we have a nice thank you card. And that looks like it's printed a nice art card, laminated matte on both sides. And here we have the various series from this designer program set. And here we've got the parts and the instructions, and I believe this is a little souvenir. We've got a 60 years brick over here, and that's a Technique brick. So that's an exclusive element. I'm not sure if it's actually used in this particular build, but that's nice because we do have that nice 60 years branding. So let's open this up, we'll get this built, and let's do a review and see how we can fit this particular set into my Lego city. And here we have the set built up. Annie spent the time building this, and I must say she had a bit of complaints in terms of the build techniques and design for this particular set, but I'll get more into that in just a bit. This particular set comes with three main components, and that's this little bike cart that you have over here. You've got the truck which goes around collecting bikes which might need repair or just need maintenance or service, and this is the rental stand for the bikes. Now, if you do not live in a city which has this bike sharing scheme, this might seem very foreign of a concept to you, but basically there may be lots where you can actually rent bikes, and you can key in a number to unlock a bike, sometimes with an app. Now, most times I don't really see stands like this, at least in the part of the world where I am. The bikes generally are all over the place, and you can just unlock the bike because each bike will have a lock, and you can use your phone to download an app to unlock the bike, and of course you just pay per use. But there definitely are trucks and lorries which go around collecting all these bikes which may be either abandoned or they just aren't working and they need some servicing. So let's have a closer look at each of these components. I'm pretty happy with the truck. I think there are many things to like about it. The design is nice. Let's talk about the size first. This is 6 studs across, and I like this size particularly for my own Lego city. It's not too big and will fit in well. Just for the sake of comparison, I've got some other vehicles here. This is the TV van from the donut shop opening, and it's slightly shorter as you'd expect it to be. The size of the van is about the same width, so actually in scale this might seem a bit smaller. This should technically be a bit bigger than this, but I'm actually happy with the scale as I mentioned because it doesn't take up too much space in my Lego city. Here's another vehicle. This is from the trailer or caravan set, and that's a kind of a four-wheel drive truck which is pretty big as well, but they're all not in terms of scale. Like if you compare them to real life scale, I do believe they're off in scale. But if you just compare them to minifig scale for a Lego city, I actually like these sizes a lot because they fit in well and they don't take too much space, but they symbolically represent the right vehicles that I need. So for this truck itself, the design itself is pretty standard for the front. But the back is really nice. I think it's really well thought out. There's the bikes sign, as you can see, very cleverly using different tile parts. And there's also an holder for various bikes. You can only put 4, but it's symbolic, and I appreciate the design as well. And there's even steps, you know, for the maintenance guy to climb up to take the bikes or to put them down. So I think that is very well designed and very well thought out. The truck itself is also very solidly built. So overall, I think this is great design and it is built very well as well. Now, I must say it didn't come with a driver though, so maybe they're experimenting with the driverless vehicles. Makes sense for a country which might be using these rental bikes. Now let's have a look at the stand itself. Now, this one, I must say, leaves a bit to be desired. So you do have places to put the bikes. Now there's no real clip that you can clip the bikes, they just go there. It does look the part, and the color scheme also matches the truck, which is nice. But I think in terms of a build technique, this is really flimsy, and I know someone has mentioned to me about this on a live stream as well, just due to the nature of the design, because everything is held up by these individual round Technic parts which go onto the studs of the base plate. But you can see I'm just going to give it a slight press. Seems okay, but you know, with a bit of movement and all, you know, it just comes apart, and literally when it drops, then everything kind of just moves apart. Now it's got to do with the design of the stand. I'm not sure how we could modify this unless we do change the design. If we do want to stick with this concept, you know, as you can see with the diagonal looking lights over here, you see I'm not even going to mess around with it too much, it's just too hard to put together. You know, you need to put this back here like that. It might be tough to change the design or really make it more stable unless you do some major change to the design. There are the various functional elements which I appreciate, like the lights that you know which slot is available, and of course we have this little button over here. I guess this way you can dial in the code or put in a credit card to pay to unlock a bike. I'm not sure what this is supposed to be. Maybe it's to pump the tires of the bike. Doubt it's a fire extinguisher. But overall, while it looks nice in terms of the build design, you know, while Annie was building this, she complained that it just broke apart 3 times as she was building it. It was just frustrating. So I can imagine why, because handling it, it does come apart as well. But I'm sure there must be a way to redesign this to make it better and more sturdy. The final build that comes with this set is this attempt at a bicycle cart, I guess you'd call it. I say an attempt because it is a good attempt. I must say I did try to build something like this before, but I could not get the connections right. And here the designer has technically got the connection right. It's a good use of this particular part over here, which basically, let me just pull that apart so that you can see. It's just a modified plate with these 3 spoke-like brackets, and then he's put on clips with lights, so it looks like headlights, and then you have this connector part over here to wheels and this chest or basket or cart. But you see the connection is really just that, so it's really flimsy. I guess it looks the part, but maybe it's the same engineer who designed the bike stand. As you can imagine, that just breaks apart really easily. Now I'm not sure there's another way to really build this effectively. As mentioned, I did try it, but I wasn't happy, probably because I got a result like that. It just wasn't satisfactory. Luckily, Lego has come out with an alternate bike design that allows you to build a really stable cart. Now, this came out in 2019, at least this element did, And this particular ice cream cart came with the People Pack set, the Carnival set, and you also get a coffee cart version in the donut shot opening set. So you do technically have a solution for this. This is a makeshift solution. I'm sure that he designed it before this even came out, but I can't say it's an ideal design. I would say get one of these, or at least get this part if you want to build your own version to have some kind of a vegetable cart. So I spent 30 minutes redesigning this bike stand, and I think the results are quite positive. It's much more sturdy now. It doesn't break apart so easily, and I think I've retained the original essence of the design as well. Now let me show you the changes I made so that you can do them if you have the set and if you have the parts. Now, I only had these parts in black, but if you have them in yellow or dark gray, they might work better or just as well. In fact, I think this works fine simply because there were black elements in the original design. So here are some of the major changes I made. The first is to introduce this 11 long Technic bar. Now, so I took out all the individual yellow Technic cylinder connectors, so all that is gone. And that was the main reason why it was so unstable. And I've introduced this Technic bar, which really holds all these individual elements together, so it's much more solid. And then I used round bricks over here and filled in the gaps with yellow wedge pieces. And on the corners, I introduced 1x4 sloped bricks so that there's some horizontal support. See, there's weight coming down over here, especially as this angles out. So there's a need for some kind of a counter support over here. In the original design, I felt that all the stress was just on one connection here. So at least it displaces the stress now. So that makes it much better. It really doesn't break apart so easily anymore. It's much more sturdy. And I think if you have this built now, you'll be much more pleased with the result. I hope you enjoyed this review of the bike sets from the Bricklink AFOL design series, and I hope you enjoyed these modifications as well. If you do have the set, do let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you do these modifications as well. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel and turn on that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Check out these two videos before you go.